Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Okay, first things first. Is everyone okay? I think that we need to implement the buddy system from here on out because I'm not confident that everyone is okay. Is everyone accounted for? My gosh. Crypto, man, what a trip. XRP got down to 69 cents. Bitcoin got down to, depending on where you look, 44,000 or the upper $43,000 price range. Within the last 24 hours. Just complete mania. It's just completely irrational behavior, emotional responses to all this. And I'll tell you right out the gate, because I'm sure there are concerned people. I will tell you this. You know what this drop did to me emotionally? Nothing. It did literally absolutely nothing. The excitement that I've been exuding as I talk about my expectations in a general sense for the crypto space and XRP, none of that has changed whatsoever. In fact, this type of extreme volatility has been a known factor for 12 years. So the fact that crypto markets have been behaving like they've been behaving for 12 years and continue to do so is not scary. It simply is not scary. Now, out of all of the analysts that I follow, there is officially one, this is the first one, who says Bitcoin is in a bear market. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if he's right, and maybe he is. He may be. And even if so, I'm still excited, even if he ends up being proven right, and he may be. And frankly, he's still excited too. So I'm going to have to explain why that is, but my gosh, there's so much good ahead, so much to be excited about. I do want to be clear that I don't have a financial background of any kind, and I am not offering financial advice. And so you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who likes making YouTube videos about crypto topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so I still have not cashed out any of my cryptocurrency into United States dollars, which is my fiat currency of choice. And I also have not ever in my entire life sold a single XRP. That has not changed today. So look, at the time I'm recording this, there's been a little bit of a recovery. XRP's at 84 cents, Bitcoin's at $49,139, market cap for the asset class 2.36 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance down to 39.33%. But again, as you can see, and this is XRP on your screen right now from Live Coin Watch, the 24-hour low where I'm circling, 69 cents. And my gosh, because of factors occurring in life for my personal life outside of crypto, I hadn't for the last couple days. You may have noticed I was away. I don't know for sure what's going to happen. It's kind of hectic my personal life in the short term for a while. And so there were things that popped up. And so unfortunately I was away, wasn't looking at crypto. And so when I checked the price today, I was like, it was way down again. Like, okay, that's about right. Apparently, this is just what happens. Anytime I'm away for any abnormal period of time, the market just tanks. So I just need to be around every single day to prevent that. Because that's the reason that this has happened here. But it's just crazy to see, like, the 24-hour high for XRP, 93 cents. Look at Bitcoin, equally crazy. Again, at 49,207 as I'm recording this. 24-hour low, just over 44,000. 24-hour high, over 53,000. I mean, you can see what this looks like on a chart. This is a 7-day chart, but man, you can go to here's the 24-hour chart. Oh yeah, that's a damn cliff. Like this is, so you can see right here, this is where the lemmings were following one another straight to the edge of the cliff, and they're just like, whee, just falling all the way down here and splat right down there. One lemming after the other to their demise, unfortunately. And I take no glee in reporting that. Those lovable, cuddly little lemmings, they are not feeling hot. Here's the crypto fear and greed index. Yes, indeed. The lemmings out there, the typical retail speculators, they're in extreme fear. At 18 out of 100. Yesterday, they were in extreme fear yesterday, too, at 25 out of 100 on the crypto fear and greed index. This is not so hot. And so it's worth saying this, and I don't know when this will be, but at some point in the future, I do not know when, this market will flip from extreme fear to extreme greed. Don't know when. It's just going to happen. And when that happens, I'll point out that it will then at some unknown point in the future enter extreme fear again. I don't pretend to know when, but just acknowledging this, like being aware of this, doesn't it make it kind of silly to feel these things that the typical retail speculator is fearing? Crypto's not going away, folks. So who is this analyst that says that Bitcoin officially is in a bear market? It is none other than the blockchain backer. And I don't know who's right. I don't know who's wrong. But this is fascinating. And I also want to illustrate, like, even if he's right, and he has strong conviction, and so nothing but respect and kudos for holding this conviction, especially in the face of tremendous criticism all up on the Twitters. There's no shortage of people being critical. So anyway, I appreciate the conviction that he's displaying, whether he is right or wrong. But here's what he tweeted out yesterday before the biggest portion of this crash. Like the cliff I just showed you a moment ago, before that happened, here's what he tweeted out. Bitcoin gave a pretty interesting wick that went below $53,000 that lasted for a few minutes. Yet, it was able to close the day at $53,600. Will be interesting to see if that was a liquidation event below that price level, stealing stop losses, or if it has significant meaning. And in his most recent video, just yesterday, before all of this craziness started, where you saw Bitcoin crash well below 53,000, as I showed you, down to 44,000 roughly, before that happened, he stated in his video that if $53,000 Bitcoin doesn't hold, then his belief will be that we're in a bear market. That's what he said in his video yesterday. And then he put out a tweet today after all the chaos ensued, and he wrote this. Overnight, Bitcoin fell to $42,000, a 39% fall from November 10th. And so let me just pause there. It depends on where you're looking. Like I showed you on Live Coin Watch, the way they track the data, it says 44,000, but you're going to get discrepancy. So anyway, just in case anyone's wondering why I said 44 and he said 42, just looking at numbers from a different source, that's all. Anyway, he continues. For me, that says the Bitcoin bear market has reared its ugly head. Historically, the altcoin market has its run during the retrace. That's now my focus. But I do believe the Bitcoin bear market has arrived. And so, again, he's the, at this point anyway, the only analyst that I follow that says Bitcoin specifically is in a bear market. But here's the good news. Altcoins, his expectations is that they're going to run, because historically that is what's happened. Before you see, these typical 80% drops in crypto after, the bubbles fully inflate and pops. Well, part of that process is money flowing into altcoins. Some of it will bleed out from Bitcoin, which and dominance will decrease. Bitcoin dominance percent, you'll see that go down. And then it flows into altcoins. And so we still have that to look forward to. And so, of course, I, like everybody else that's listening, of course, we all want Bitcoin to go up as high as possible, and that includes the blockchain backer. He wants it to go higher. He just doesn't believe for a moment, these $150,000 Bitcoin price expectations. He doesn't believe that, but would he like that? Yes. He's made that very clear. And so I would love $100,000 plus Bitcoin, because then, when that bubble does fully inflate and pop, it just means that much more money will flow into all the altcoins that I hold, including XRP, which is my largest crypto holding. But even if we're not going to get to see that, even if we don't see Bitcoin run that high, we are at the point now. It's can I use the word imminent, or maybe it's too much, whether it's a week or 2 or 3, whatever it ends up being. Like, you should see, if this is the case, you should start seeing altcoins pop off like crazy if it's the case that Bitcoin's officially in a bear market. Like, we're towards the tail end of this. So I don't know exactly how long that would take. I'm not making an actual prediction, but that would be the next progression in this whole thing. And so the most exciting, fun part is yet to come. And with how high Bitcoin's already gone, how high Ethereum's already gone, even if they've both topped off for this market cycle, that means XRP's going to go ballistic if history is to repeat. And so again, none of it's guaranteed, and I don't make price predictions, but if history is to repeat, yes, that's what we've got to look forward to. That's very soon. And so yes, it's only a little disappointing in the sense that I would have loved to have seen Bitcoin run higher. But it looks like, if he's right, the top for Bitcoin, which we recently got, because it did hit another all-time high, which was the blockchain backer's expectation. He was just thinking that had maybe perhaps more probability of having a higher than that, but it did hit $68,780. And so if that's the peak for this market cycle, if he's correct, okay, I will be happy with that. And there's no way to know for sure if history is going to repeat, but I'm going to guess that humans are going to behave about the same, and I just think it's the idea of humans not completely maxing out the opportunity in the space, of them not doing that for the first time in history, knowing that humans still have the same DNA that caused them to behave the way they did in previous market cycles, like that's still here. The idea of us not seeing a tremendous alt season is like a cray-cray idea to me. Like, I don't see it. Of course, you can't know anything with 100% certainty, but I would be shocked if that were the case. And even if that were the case, I believe that crypto is here for the long haul. It's long-term viable. It is not going away, and I just continue to hold, even if the entire space entered a bear market, which is not what the blockchain backer is calling for, by the way. He's just talking about Bitcoin being in a bear market. So we'll see. I'm sure he'll articulate his position more in the coming days, but it may just mean that Bitcoin's more or less for some time maybe recovers a little bit even, and then mostly ranges sideways, and then you're going to be seeing altcoins start to pop off, which means that, in particular, I wouldn't be surprised if this is true. I wouldn't be surprised if the next 60 days are absolutely ballistic. And that's if it's true, though, and I don't pretend to know. In fact, other analysts, though, worth noting, again, none of the other ones that I follow think that this is an indication that we're in a bear market. So I want to share with you some of that perspective, too. And either way, I don't think any of this is scary. I'm going to be very clear about this. I'm happy regardless. I've been counting on the bubble to fully inflate and pop, and I'm never going to know for sure, like when it's happening, I'm never going to know for sure, yes, that's the moment, that was the very top. Of course not. I can't time that type of stuff. Nobody actually can, right? But even if that has already happened, damn, there's so much reason to be excited here. Here's a tweet from Credible Crypto. He put out a very short video, which I checked out. And here you go. You can see he wrote it on your screen. 3-minute major update on Bitcoin and this market-wide drop. Must watch, like, share, and retweet. And he actually, in this clip, it was only 3 minutes. About half of that was a clip from a previous clip from a few days ago before this drop even happened. And he actually cited one of the possible outcomes that could occur was that Bitcoin, and it would have seemed outrageous a few days ago, wow, Bitcoin could drop this much. But even just a few days ago, he's like, just so you know, and he played it in this clip, excuse me, he showed Bitcoin getting down to basically where it did, $43,000 to $44,000 range. He was saying, just so you know, this is a path it might take, might go sideways before ultimately rocketing out much, much higher. And then he shared this. Yeah, and so he is one of the analysts I follow that believes that market cycles for Bitcoin and crypto are lengthening. And so I don't need to read the whole tweet on your screen, as some of it's a little bit technical sounding. But the point that you should take away, if nothing else, out of this tweet that's on your screen that I'm not reading, is that he's anticipating that as far as like when Bitcoin's actually going to top, he's thinking potentially mid 2022 based on the structure. So if you want the specifics, if you want the actual technical analysis, I encourage you to check out his channel. Just type in Credible Crypto on Twitter. He doesn't put out a ton of content, but all of it is absolutely fantastic. And he's very active on Twitter, so you can hear from him regularly if you want. Like, there's a reason that he has, how many followers does he have now? Let's see, 275,000. There's a reason. So he's a top shelf analyst for sure. But he does think that we could see this thing drag out much further. Oh, and before I forget this too, another thing he pointed out, he pointed it out before the crash and even today. He pointed out that the ETH BTC pair was just looking incredibly primed. And even today, despite what has happened with Bitcoin and XRP and the broader crypto market, Ethereum, which was already positioned to behave incredibly well had Bitcoin not torn it down, it's actually only down. I'm looking at this right now. Ethereum's down in the last 24 hours, 1.18%. Like, and he's kind of made the point. It's like you don't expect to see that. You don't expect to see the number 2 altcoin, according to him, like performing so well. Because again, 1.1%, but performing against holding whatever the support level was he cited. You have to look at his video if you want to see the specifics again, but it's holding, and he's just like, whoa, this is not what you expect if the whole market's crumbling and falling apart. That's his opinion. And then there was this. Somebody asked Credible Crypto, do you think the bottom is in, or we could make another lower low still? Thanks for the reply, brother. To which Credible Crypto did respond, and he wrote, I think the bottom is probably in. So again, he didn't say certainly, but he thinks that's what's most probable. The bottom, the worst that we were going to see, it's already happened. And by the way, at the very end of this video, I'm going to share with you something from, 2 comments from a couple guys that specialize more so in on-chain analytics rather than technical analysis. I'll share that at the end of this video, though, also. And then here's somebody asked, Credible Crypto Bro, are we still in a bull market in your opinion? To which he responded, again, this was after the big crash that the lemmings decided to just throw themselves off this cliff. Credible Crypto simply wrote, absolutely. Still a bull market as far as he's concerned. And then somebody else asked here on the screen, you can see, what's your expectation for where Bitcoin will top off this market cycle? and again, he's being asked this after this most recent horrific, very scary crash. And his response still for Bitcoin, $100,000 plus. So just like the blockchain backer, I respect him. He's got his strong conviction. He believes one thing. I respect the fact that Credible Crypto has strong conviction. He's not wavering in his thoughts either, and they disagree. And I'm just looking forward to seeing how this unfolds, just like you guys are. I don't know. But that's why I keep saying, even though I don't know, and none of us know, none of them know for sure. I'm glad that I can appreciate the conviction they have. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me who's right, because the blockchain backer, Credible Crypto, pick your analyst. They understand that if history repeats, regardless of who gets the top, their prediction for the top more or less correct, alt season still happens, And that's why, just a few days ago when I was talking about price before this crash, I noted that too. I said, look, here's the people that are most set to have really happy days ahead in crypto. It's not the people that are in Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin now. It's not. Even if Bitcoin goes to 150,000, at that point it's like, so what are you going to get? Somewhere between a 2 to 3-fold increase, something like that. Well, the altcoins, that's where the real opportunity is. So that's still there. That's still in the cards. That's still ahead. Then there's this from Chart Analyst DIY Investing, who simply wrote, "Bull run not over. Bitcoin is not in a bear market. Stop being dramatic. LOL." Okay, point well taken. We'll see. I don't know. So this is the majority opinion, though, which is why I wanted to share the minority opinion, the blockchain backer's opinion first. That's definitely a very minority opinion. So we'll see who's right, who's wrong, but that's the reason I started with that. And then here is a tweet from chart analyst Michael Vanderpop, who wrote, "Rounding off the day with this chart on Bitcoin. I think that the chances for a V-shaped recovery are there. We'll see coming week how it unfolds, but these bounces are significant and good. Have a good evening." And so he seems to be rather impressed with, at least to this point, how Bitcoin and crypto markets have responded. And this is a Bitcoin USD chart, but seems to be rather thrilled with that. In fact, he highlighted, this is something I was just talking about a moment ago, which Credible Crypto was talking about, just observing this. And this tweet was from this afternoon, so the number's a little bit different, but very close to what I just cited. Michael Vanderpop tweeted, "Ethereum is down 2.5% for the day. What crash? If you were a dip buyer today, congratulations. You've done great. Keep that flow going. The bull cycle isn't over." Here is a tweet from Il Capo, another analyst. He wrote, "Bull market is not over." Now here's Will Clemente, an on-chain analyst who shared the following perspective. "The people that baffle me are the ones that say they have a 5 to 10 year plus time horizon on Bitcoin, but check the price more often and get more emotional than most traders I know." I'm like, golf clap for that one, my friend. Seriously. Which is why I've said time and time again, and data bears this out. It's true of the stock market. It's true of crypto. The best way, and this is, you do whatever you want. You can buy, you can sell, it doesn't make a difference to me, but here's what I'm doing for myself, is the best thing to do, especially in tumultuous times where the price goes down, is to do precisely nothing. I am firm on that, which is why, again, if you're hearing what I'm saying, let me reiterate, I haven't ever cashed out any of my crypto to United States dollars, and I haven't sold a single XRP. Now, if we really are at the tail end of the cycle, and I think we are, regardless of who's right, if there's a lengthening cycle or not, we're about there. So even if we don't have a lengthening cycle, my intent, and it will be the first time ever, I will be selling the vast majority, if not all of my crypto, including XRP, but not until each of them pops. And I won't sell it perfectly on the way to the top, but I absolutely will, just like a dollar cost averaged in over time. I will be scaling out of my position as well, and not worrying about not hitting the top. It's still going to be absolutely incredible, but I do feel like that will be happening sooner than later in all probability. That is my plan. That hasn't changed. And so the people, where the price goes down, they feel more enticed and like, oh, damn, son, you be doing it wrong. I mean, do what you want to do. But my gosh, the data shows the people that emotionally respond, they don't do well. They just don't. And it's just like, you got to shut this off. You've got to expect these markets, like crypto markets, the most volatile markets on the entire planet. You look at the data. You can prove it to yourself. They've been behaving like this for 12 years and you expect, and then when they continue to do what you know they're supposed to do, you're supposed to emotionally respond negatively? Does that make logical sense? No, it's just emotion. It doesn't make logical sense. Here's on-chain analyst Willy Woo, who shared the following with his 905,000 followers. He wrote shrimp, so he's referencing, let's say small purchasers of crypto, small purchasers of Bitcoin. So, there's whales, big purchasers. Well, at the other end of the spectrum would be the shrimps. That's what he's calling them here. So he wrote, shrimps have been buying the dip, 7-day moving average, hence at a V-shaped recovery. The 2017 top, which is what's in red, and I'll pull this up full screen in a second. The 2017 top was marked by shrimps selling after the price started crashing. And so he's talking about on-chain analytics, not technical analysis, and he's noticing that the behavior that we saw during the 2017 crash, which ultimately led to the bear market, that behavior is different than what we've been seeing for the last 7 days. And that's what he tweeted today after this crash. So he seems to not believe at all that this is an indication of a bear market. And so, look, I'm just trying to get as many opinions as I can from different people, put it all in one spot for you and talk about it and just share my conviction, because I may not be a chart analyst because it just does not interest me. But I have strong conviction in my general approach that I've been at for over 4 years now. I have very strong conviction. I am not wavering. And if I'm wrong, well, then maybe I lose everything. But I don't think I'm wrong. My conviction is stronger than ever. I'm not wavering. And so I feel excited for the future. I mean, I don't feel good that all these people are freaking out, but part of my calculus in getting into the space in a more meaningful way and in putting in serious money, part of my conviction comes from the expectation that humans will continue to behave just this irrationally and ridiculously. That's part of my strategy. And so the only way that I can protect myself is to control the only part really that I can control, which is to do nothing. And it's worked out for me really well. My crypto holdings are worth substantially more than they were for most of the time I've been in crypto, because most of the time I was in crypto, it was during a bear market in early days of recovery, and I was at break even or down for most of the time that I've been in crypto. But I was expecting that because these things take years, And so however long this takes, I'm seeing it through, folks. You do whatever you want. I'm just sharing my humble opinion, which is how you say opinion. You guys say opinion weird. It's opinion, like it sounds French or some I won't curse for the children as they may be in the background. Don't want to taint their ears with such a thing here. But look, I know people are scared out there. So all I can do is share my perspective, and I hope it can provide a little bit of reassurance, but I can't tell you what's right for you. I can't tell you if you should buy or sell or hold. I'm just telling you, for me, it just doesn't make a damn bit of sense to feel anything remotely resembling scare. Like, it just doesn't make any damn sense. But I'll go ahead and wrap up here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.